Hi, this is Travis Wayne Goodsell. I've been doing the video or conference reviews all day, and I've been getting a lot of comments, and as a result, it's necessary for me to do another video introduction for the rest of these videos that I'm working on. Again, explain to you Mormons. I was born and raised Mormon. Almost 50 years of my life dedicated to the church. I've been in positions of influence. Much of what you would believe if you actually did research or study the scriptures, you'd find my influence. I haven't been able to change everything, because there's a lot of things that they refuse to change. Sort of like Sodom being destroyed for neglecting the poor when they want it to be homosexuality. And so when I tell you guys that I'm no longer affiliated with the church, I'm still a member on record. They're not telling the stats anymore, but that doesn't mean that I'm evil and apostate. For you guys to believe that of me is unsound. Do you understand what unsound means versus sound? You need to defend your church, and you don't do it by abusing me, attacking me, trolling me, and making all sorts of false accusations and comments about my character or my appearance even. That doesn't make you guys the good guys. And that's all the more reason why nobody wants to be in your church. Why I don't want to come back. It ain't gonna happen. I studied church history finally. That's how I realized, no, I want nothing to do with the church. So, Mormons, and I know you're Mormon, even though you don't have an actual picture of yourself, although the one Mormon girl used a Superman character of some kind. I didn't recognize the blonde, but I mean, come on, guys. Seriously? You're accusing me of trying to save you guys. Seriously. So, I don't want this intro to go too long, but being abusive when somebody is pointing out the horrible evils and errors of the church, that's the wrong argument to take. I know where I stand on the issue. That's why I'm able to say what I'm able to say. I have been in the church, in positions of high influence. And I can't go into detail because this is going too long as it is. And there's a reason why I have the David versus Goliath little video gif at the beginning. So, please. You know, I have noticed that the Russians have backed off this conference weekend. They went full force right before conference, but now they've backed off, and Mormons are coming to my videos for the first time. You have not seen my other videos. You do not know what's going on. So, think before you speak and embarrass and humiliate yourself and get banned from my channel. Okay, I guess I should do a summary of session 1 or 2, sorry. They're all blurring together. Alright, so the first one, that was pure evil doctrine being presented, and pure hatred. And now we have lies, you lie, just all sorts of misinformation and and propaganda being spouted out. So, man. Yeah. All the church has to do is open up their storehouses. That would solve so many of the problems that are going on. Because, yes, we are enslaved. We are in bondage. Not just to a government who refuses to regulate business, but also because of businesses for forcing the situation in the first place. But they've covered it up by bribing the government to not regulate them. So then you have the social media. Alrighty, Anderson. Social media refuses to comply and admit wrong. I mean, there's selling our data information, our private information, to enemies of this nation who are using that data to promote propaganda here in the States. And we already have enough of it from the church, but not everybody in the nation believes in the church. So only the Mormons get fooled by the church propaganda. But yet, Russia still put it here in Utah, as I witnessed several of my neighbors and Facebook friends, when I had Facebook at the time, fallen for the lies that I knew were lies. And so, like I was saying, you can know the source origin for doctrinal beliefs, as well as any kind of belief system that's presented. You can know if it's survival of the fittest or evolutionary theory, or we need to kill people in order to survive as a species. You didn't think that was one? I heard that one from PBS. They're saying, yeah, we're going to have to decrease the population in order to survive. Unbelievable. And so, okay. Part 4 is now being saved. That's 2 minutes on uploading. Part 3, or no, I forgot to do the summary upload, so that's out of order. So I'm glad I caught it. I need to go to bed. And so, yeah. And then the whole concept of truth is actually your opinion. And don't trust truths of science, because they'll lie to you. Not if science is actually done right. Because technically what they're saying, if they were telling us the truth, is that the Christians who have gone into the fields of science to specifically alter science to conform to the Bible, you know, like the Catholic priest who made the discovery of the Big Bang Theory. So, but yeah, an emphasis on sacrament or die. Go to the sacrament. You're disrespecting Jesus. He died for you. You owe him. And by the way, pay your tithing, because that's what real members do. And no homos. Anderson pulled the homo card and condemned homos after the church just unleashed the apostasy ban on homos. God. Church is so homophobic. I can't believe you guys fell for it. ABC did a token interview of one gay couple who are going to be getting married later this year, but they still want to be members of the church. They love the church. They were born and raised in it. And it's not about the church being mean, that they need to be nice. It was, you know, it's all about God. they've forgotten the story of the Zoramites, which was brought up in this session, about the Antichrist who was run over by the Zoramites, the rich Zoramites, as I indicated in session 2. And yeah, that was the whole point of the story, is that the poor Zoramites were the ones who built the synagogue, and because they built it, they were out of work. So they were now poor. They weren't the landholders who were rich. And so the landowners said, you know, hey, you guys are poor, you're polluting this synagogue, you're no longer welcome here because of your poverty. And so they were all sad. Oh, what do we do? How do we ever worship God? There's a Rammy-umptum, and we don't get to go on the Rammy-umptum to repeat the same line prayer that everybody else is saying, the same testimony. And yeah, Alma comes along and says, you don't need a church to worship God. You know, if you have a church, great. Protects you from the elements during rain and snow. But you don't need a building. All you have to do is gather together. And that's what he was doing. He was holding a congregation out in the wilderness. That was his church. Demonstrating to them that that's all they had to do. They didn't need a building. Just because you were kicked out of a building doesn't mean that you can't communicate with God. So, yeah, then they... yeah. And then he teaches them about faith. Real faith, not the fake faith that they just spouted off there, where you can't produce any results, you can't learn the truth, because if you learn the truth, then you'll realize the church is false. So it's just church with belief. Stick with belief, strengthen your belief. That's all we ask. Strengthen your belief. And deal with being poor, because we're not going to open up our storehouses. We're not going to fix the economy or do an underground economy. And of course, then we got to add in the drinking game. Every time a sacrament meeting or a temple is mentioned, take a swig of your favorite alcohol. I don't drink alcohol. It smells like ugh. Too many bad experiences with others who are drunk. And so, yeah, you're not getting me to drink. So if you find me dead with an empty bottle of some kind of alcohol and the police are saying I was suicide because I drunk myself to death, you know it's a lie. I was murdered. They tried to stage the scene as if I had gotten drunk and died from alcohol poisoning or whatever, but no, I died. I was murdered. So, yeah. But mostly, you know, let's see, what's that one? People, oh yeah, oh, I forgot to mention in the stats in part 2, in that, when they did it, notice they did not say translator. And then the woman closing the prayer, in the closing prayer, no translator. They've removed translator from the keys of these prophets, seers, revelators, and supposed to be translators. It's gone now. Notice that. I noticed that. So yeah, I had the volume down during the sustaining vote. Where's my ballot? I don't get to cast a ballot. What do you mean? I just raised my hand? That's a vote? I have to see my stake president if I vote no? What's he gonna do? What do you mean excommunicate me? So it's not a vote at all, is it? It's a sustain or die. Sacrament or die? Sustain or die? Think what we tell you to think? That's what the message was for part 2. And no homos. Even though we're allowing homos to pay their tithing to us again. All right, that's it. That's the summary. So this one's about done. And it's 4:20. At 4:20, I guess. We got the other one uploaded. So, alrighty. Yeah, I've got the Holland's talk almost finished saving, and then I can do this one. It's at 80%. Okay. Next is priesthood. Nobody's talked about Jesus' birthday yet. Have they been humiliated? Have they not decided that they're going to call it Jesus' birthday anymore? Oh, just hilarious. But yeah, no stats. They didn't even bother to mention that they're not doing it. Like I said, that was what I was predicting. And so, yeah, the stats aren't out yet. And probably Wednesday, maybe. I think that Tuesday or Wednesday was when they had them out last year. So, we'll see.